Hi, my name is Jamie Johnson, and I'm a car accident attorney with offices in Woodbridge and Gainesville, Virginia. I'd like to share some information that my clients recently have been asking about, and it's regarding whether or not they should use their own health insurance on their accident case. And when dealing with a car accident case in Virginia, usually we look at what's called the triple dip. There are three types of insurance. One, there's your health insurance that you should use if you've been injured in an accident. You pay monthly premiums for that health insurance. That health insurance is there to pay for your medical treatment, or to offset the cost of your medical treatment. Doesn't matter if it's your fault or somebody else's fault. It's there to protect you for that. That's why it's insurance. So you should definitely use your health insurance if you have a health insurance. You can significantly increase your share of the recovery, how much money you actually get at the end of the case when you use your health insurance. The second type of insurance is called MedPay. This is a subset of insurance that you purchase through your car insurance, through your own policy. In Virginia, they're required to offer it, but usually when you go to your insurance provider and say, hey, I'm looking to save money on my car insurance, that's the first thing they want to cut out. And the reason why they want to cut that out is because that's their biggest money loser, is MedPay. It's usually only about $30 or $50 per year, but you can have coverage anywhere from $3,000 to $10,000 per car that you insure. So if you get your typical hospital bill, if you're involved in an accident, it's usually about $4,000 or $5,000. If you are involved in just one accident within 10 years, MedPay will pay for itself, because we submit that hospital bill to your MedPay provider, and they will write a check for up to the amount of either the bill or what your coverage is, to the hospital bill, and pay that bill. Or they'll write a check to you, and then you can use it to pay the bill to make sure it doesn't go to collections. Where it's even better is if you use your health insurance is going to knock that $4,000 bill down to about $800, and then you can still submit the $4,000 bill to your MedPay provider, and then they're going to write you the check for the $4,000, which you can pay the $800 with, and you just netted $3,200. Now, of course, you're going to need that money probably to go use as a down payment for another car, most likely, when all this is said and done. But MedPay is a great thing. You should definitely be asking for it with your insurance provider. If you don't have it right now, check your policy, call your provider, get it added on. The third and final type of insurance involved in car accident cases is the actual policy itself. Now, typically, we're going to deal with the defendant's policy. In Virginia, you're required to carry a minimum amount of $25,000 in insurance, per accident, per vehicle. So it caps out at 50. It's called 25/50 insurance. So it's $25,000 per person, $50,000 per accident. So if there are three people involved and who are in a car that gets hit, the insurance is only going to cover up to $50,000, and it's only going to offer each individual up to $25,000. So if the first two people settle for $25,000 each, third person, sorry, you're out of luck. That's why you need to make sure that you're speaking with an attorney and sharing all this information with them. The attorney would look at that and be able to know that they need to get on the case quickly. So, however, sometimes there are some drivers who either don't have car insurance or they only have the minimum, and you might be a wise person and have more insurance than they do. So if, personally, I carry $300,000 in insurance because I want to make sure that my family is taken care of. If we're involved in an accident, I'm not going to leave it up to some schmo who hit me to have sufficient enough insurance to cover our medical bills and our lost wages and our pain and suffering. I make sure that we have sufficient insurance that we can cover that. Because if they only have $25,000 in insurance, and my wife and I are involved in an accident and one of us has to have surgery, we're going to be well beyond that $25,000 mark quickly. That's why we would turn to our car insurance, and it's called underinsurance, which is also your carrier required to provide for you unless you exempt out of it. So the defendant driver in that case would be responsible for their $25,000 share of the claim, and then my insurance would then be responsible for the difference. So the other $275,000 in there, it sets a new ceiling for what can be recovered. So you might have had a $25,000 ceiling here from the defendant's insurance. Well, then you have that $300,000 ceiling up here for your own insurance. because you're paying for insurance, not only in case you hit somebody, but in case somebody hits you. So that's what we call underinsured insurance. And it's definitely something that you need to make sure your attorney is aware of. You need to know what your policy limits are and make your attorney aware of those policy limits, so that way they can take the necessary steps that they need to maximize your recovery. Now, just because you had $300,000 in insurance doesn't mean you're going to get a $300,000 check. Your claim still needs to be worth that much. But that just means that there's that much more available. And again, that goes into the different types of policies that there are. So you have your health insurance, you have your med pay, and then you have the car insurance. Now, of course, the car insurance, as we've discussed, is split into two types of insurance. Your liability insurance, that's if you hit somebody, how much coverage you have, and then your underinsured insurance, which is if somebody hits you and they don't have as much coverage as you do, your insurance company will protect you up to the amount that you've been paying for. So make sure that you're aware of what your numbers are. Speak to your attorney about it. We have lots of other videos regarding this on YouTube, as well as information on our website at JLFva.com. You can go there, request information. I'm happy to share it with you. Make sure you request the how to select a car accident attorney in Virginia. And if you're interested, we also have a book on fatal mistakes for car accidents in Virginia. Make sure that read up on that. Make sure you're not making any of those mistakes, so that way you and your claim are protected. If you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us. Otherwise, good luck.